49 years of living under his guidance. Now, the journey is my own. I must continue to live a life I think he would approve of. A life driven by faith and a love for the outdoors. Spending my days on the water and in the woods, just like he taught me. Welcome to the country. Okay guys, so I got a package in the mail today. I wanted to show you guys a few of the lures that I've got in the mail recently. And I'm getting ready to get started this spring, and there's a lot of lures out there that I want to catch fish on that either I don't have them in my collection now, or they're lures that I don't want to necessarily fish with because I don't want to risk losing them. And the lure on today's video that I wanted to kind of tell you the backstory on is one of those lures. But hey, look here. All right. So if you guys know, I am very fond of the Rebel Shad. This is my favorite lure of all time. This one happens to be a bass pattern, but I've got quite a few that are different, like this one here I got recently. Come off of there, you. This is one I got a couple of days ago. And here's another one that I got a couple of days ago. So I did a video on the original one that I used to fish with all the time when I was a kid. And that one stays in my dad's tackle box. This is the Rebel. It's F588, I believe is the number for the color or the pattern. This is the one I caught all the fish on when I was younger. We spent our summers out at the local golf course and out local farm ponds, Adams Lake or out at Westner's, or out like I said, the golf course there in town. And that bait right there caught probably thousands of fish back in those days. And I don't want to risk losing that lure, but I want to fish with it again. I want to catch fish on it. So I got a lot of them now, and I just keep growing the collection. I've actually got a bid out on another one, and I probably got 15 or 12 of them now. But the lure for the day that I wanted to tell you guys a story about is something a little bit different. So back in the mid to late 80s, there used to be a lot of stripers in the lake out here, and we spent a lot of time in the summertime out trolling for those things, trying to catch them. And I remember one particular day, me and my dad was out, and I couldn't have been probably maybe 10 or 8 years old at the time, and me and my dad were out fishing, and he caught a striper that was 15 or 12 pounds, something like that. You know, those fish were, back then, that was about the size that they were. I don't know exactly when they stocked them in the lake, but when we were catching them, and I can remember that's about the size they were. I think the biggest one that we ever caught, or I say we, I never actually caught one, but my dad or my uncle ever caught was somewhere in the range of 19 or 20 pounds, I think was the biggest. And they got all the way up to 30 and 40 pounds. I think, in the early 90s, there was some caught that was 30 plus, and there was a 48 pounder caught that was, or that's hanging up in the bait house at the B&K bait shop right now. But eventually, the population of those fish, they all got caught out. There's no more stripers in the lake. Hasn't been for decades. But this particular day, my dad caught one that was, like I said, about 15 pounds maybe or so. And what was neat about it was when he caught the fish, it had this lure right here already in its mouth. So somebody had hooked that fish and gotten broken off, and just by sheer luck, my dad hooked that fish and was able to get it to the boat and retrieve this person's lure. So somebody lost their bomber in the 80s on a striper, and my dad ended up catching it, and now I have this lure in my collection. So like I said, this is one I'd like to go out and fish with again, but I just can't risk losing the lure. It hasn't been fished with since the day my dad caught that fish. As far as I know, it's been in this tackle box all those years. And one morning I was on eBay just looking around, and I ran across another one, and it just kind of reminded me of that lure and that trip and those memories. And I made the bid on it, and was fortunate enough to have enough money to buy it. So this is the lure right here. This is a Bomber 520 bucktail. Now I think this is a newer version of that lure, because this one it actually has a rattle in it, and it has this bucktail on the hook, which that one has neither one of those. But it's not the exact it's not the exact model or the exact lure that my dad caught all those years ago, but it's close enough for me to say that I caught a fish on it. And I'm really looking forward to getting out fishing with that lure. Kind of the theme that I've been going for, especially over the past year, the whole 2023, is I go out and I fish with rods and reels that my dad owned, or lures that my dad owned, or something that means something to me. It's not just for me. Just go out and catch fish, and I'm not using these lures because they're the most effective at that time or whatever. It's just I pick lures that I want to catch fish on that mean something to me, and that's what I try to go and do every time I go out, and just to relive those memories. And this year, this spring is going to be the first spring without my dad, and it's going to be even mean more to me to go out and fish with this type of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. Spring's right around the corner, and I'm just looking forward to getting out and reliving some of my childhood and the memories I have, out fishing with my dad. So this is going to be a really neat one. Looking forward to getting out and actually throwing this lure when the time gets right. We're not far away now. February is a short month, and March is right around the corner, and it's going to start warming up, and I'm really looking forward to it this year. So anyway, that's kind of all I got for today. I just wanted to show you that lure and tell you that little bit of a backstory, and as we get geared up to go fishing this spring. So I want to thank you guys for watching.